Welcome back to the Cardinal Chirp. More importantly, welcome to the final episode of the Cardinal Chirp this season. As we're graduating and welcoming new hosts and gathering new people for episodes and more, we want to look back on the legacy that we've made here at the Cardinal Chirp this year. This is the first time anything like this has ever been done here at North Clay. There's never been a podcast. There's always been broadcasting classes, but nothing ever like this before. So we started something from the ground up. I just wanted to talk about what were some of our fears going into the class, going into the first podcast, and anything that entails. Whoever wants to go first.
For me, I wasn't necessarily, we thought you and Jesse were going to anchor the whole time. We didn't know that we would be on this side of the camera. So for me, it was just making sure that the sound, because we got all new equipment this year, and getting the sound to translate over to our editing system and making sure it correlated with our mouths. That was definitely the editing process, and the setup was definitely the scariest part for me.
For me, it was definitely, because the beginning we just did podcasts where you can edit and all that, but when we did lives, you can't do any editing, so mine was definitely messing up on a live. Or doing something embarrassing on a live.
Yeah, I think me and Jesse, we looked back on the first episode and we watched that, and just seeing how much growth we've had since then, and just knowing in the beginning we didn't really have this set in stone idea of what the podcast was going to look like throughout the year. So just learning that as we went and just seeing how things changed, it was really cool just to know that we didn't have anything to fear. We were going to get through those road bumps that came along, but it ended up being a great year, and we had some really good podcasts. So
I think for me there wasn't really much of a fear because I came in second semester, so you guys had most of it kind of planned out already. The only thing would have been when I was on the podcast for the first time or lives or something like that, but other than that, you guys had it kind of smooth sailing, so I wasn't worried.
Yeah, for me, I didn't really have any fears because I was just social media at the time. I was making the TikToks and running our accounts like that, so I wasn't really scared of messing up or doing anything wrong. But definitely that first time when I was on the podcast was really nerve-wracking. It was Travis's episode, so it felt like a huge thing for me, and that was very intimidating, but it ended up being one of my favorite memories, being on and behind the camera rather than just taking your TikToks and
you weren't even
all
planning
that.
On doing that episode.
Yeah. So it was kind of everything around here. You kind of just jump in and help where you're needed. So that was definitely culture shocking for me. With that, what are your guys' favorite memories, or a favorite podcast, favorite speaker we've had, anything like that?
I loved interviewing Mr. Price. That was definitely my best interviewer. I like when we did the Coke case, that stuff. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like doing that. That was fun.
that was awesome.
And then we all drank strawberry Dr. Pepper and just hated it.
Yeah, it was
It's strawberries and cream.
Yeah, something like that. It was not good. It was bad.
Yeah, I have to say, I really enjoyed the episode where I got to interview my sister. Just knowing, that whole year of her being queen was just a really fun time for our family. And so just going through and reliving that through the memories that she would tell, it was just really fun, and I enjoyed that a lot. And just getting to know all of you guys even better than I already do. I mean, there's things you learn about people, and it's a good time to come in here every day and just to be able to have a class where we get to have fun and be creative and use our talents. So
Another one that I really liked, I liked interviewing Alex and Logan.
Yeah.
That was probably my best interview. That was fun.
My favorites have been just any time that we've taste tested anything. So we did the Oreos for Oreo Day, and then we also did the Dr. Pepper. So that was just easy conversation and a fun morning.
yeah.
On our very first episode, we talked about Y3000, and we never tried it.
We never tried it. We just talked about this last week.
Yeah, I know. That's funny.
I honestly don't think I have a specific thing. I do like the Oreos and the whatever, but again, I came in a little bit later, so I think just being a part of something that's brand new to our school and just starting up is really cool.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like every day was something new, and we created so many memories.
Yeah.
The year kind of flew by because of the podcast.
Yeah.
I feel like we were always planning
Yeah.
for the next week and looking into our future. So I feel like we've just gotten here so fast. So We did multiple holiday episodes too. We talked about the taste testing and everything like that. What was your favorite holiday episode, I guess you could say, or anything like
Christmas,
that?
hands down. Christmas episode was awesome.
The cookie
The
decorating.
cookie, when we did was it cookie decorating?
Yeah.
And we had all the lights, like the strung lights everywhere.
We
It's like-
actually
it was
made
de-
gingerbread houses
It was
too.
decorated. Yeah, we
Yeah.
made gingerbread. Mine was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will agree with them. I like the cookie
Yeah.
decorating.
Did you have a favorite? Well, I wasn't there for that, so I'd say the Oreo. National Oreo Day.
I like the Easter one. The Easter one was good too.
That was fun. So next we're going to jump into the values that we learned this year, just where we started from and what we wanted to initiate here at the Cardinal Chirp. And so with that, like me and Jesse starting off as the anchors at the beginning of the year, I really feel like we wanted it to be a fun place where we could just talk and have conversation. Like we didn't want to make it something that was like read word for word
Yeah.
or like we were just giving, you know, this is what's going on. Like we really wanted to make it something where we could like involve the crowd, like with our Cardinal Chirp, what's it called? Challenge, yeah. With our Cardinal Chirp challenge, we had, you know, something that we wanted to bring to the audience where they could give feedback and they could be a part of it. And so I think that that's really important that we've carried that throughout the year and that we've made sure to really include the audience.
Yeah, like we definitely set the tone, set the tone well. Like I really like how like at the beginning we definitely like it was a little bit more scripted and but like
Yeah.
now like we just have our outline, our topics to go over, and then we just talk about it. And then it may spiral off to something completely random that has nothing to do with
And
it.
it did a lot
Yeah,
of the time.
and I
Yeah.
like, but I like that though. I like it.
Yeah.
There were definitely some podcasts that you guys saw that we did not intend on talking
Yes.
about any of the things in there, and
When
yeah.
I rewatched some of the episodes, we talked about some like completely just random,
Random.
yeah. That just that
Definitely. But honestly, the flow of conversation when it's like that is like when I listen to podcasts, I
that's
like
what I
that
want.
more.
That's what I
Me
want
too.
to
If
listen
that makes
to.
any sense.
Yeah.
I think that creating a culture for something and like just really setting standards high and having a goal is really good. And I think we all did a great job at making sure that we kept it fun, up to date, and just really setting up good for the future.
Yeah, because like we set the tone because like so hopefully in the future like we get 100 viewers, next 1,000,
Yeah.
10,000,
Yeah.
keep going.
That's something I'm super excited to see, the growth of the Cardinal
Yeah.
Chirp, because we have an amazing teacher, and honestly none of this would be possible without her getting us in here. Some days we're just not feeling it, and she's like, go film a podcast, go do a live. Like, it's all credit to her, and I feel like the future of the class is just going to go like even better because of that and her determination for it to be better.
It'll be like a really exciting moment to like see moments in the podcast, like when they hit like 2,000 subscribers,
Yeah.
like stuff like that. Or
And
like
we're like, we started
yeah, like
that.
we that's ours.
It will always be.
We'll have to have you guys back for
Yeah.
podcast
Yeah.
alumni.
I'll definitely
For
yeah, I'll
sure.
definitely show up.
With that, do you guys have any advice for the incoming class or incoming hosts or anything? We don't know who is going to be even in the class, so if we knew, that'd probably help us a
Yeah.
lot more. We
For
could
incoming
probably
host,
help
I definitely want them to have fun. I don't want it to seem like work for them.
them. Mhm.
Because like for me, this is a fun class. Like I did it. It's an elective. I took it because I want to have fun with it.
Yeah.
I don't want them to just come in here and say, "Oh, we gotta do a podcast today." I want them
Yeah.
because that's how
Yeah.
it was. But
I would definitely say, like, if you're on the fence about joining the class, like, a lot of people would probably think you have to be super outgoing and, like, want to be on the camera and everything. Like, there's a place for everyone here in
Yes.
broadcast. Like, you can be someone to, you know, click play on the camera or to do videos, do TikToks.
Make a jingle.
Yeah.
make a jingle.
And you never know where you'll start because, like, Liv, like you said, you started with the TikToks, with the pictures, with all of that, and now you're on here as a host too. So it's like you can change as the year goes on, and I know that Ms. Cox will make sure, like, you're doing something that you love and you're passionate about. And so just, if you're on the fence, just go for it. Say yes to it and just try something new if it's out of your comfort zone.
Jump right in.
Yep.
That's our motto.
I would say just, like Jesse said, have fun. There's a lot of opportunities and just make the most out of them. And then also, like, there's some days you don't always want to be on the podcast, but you're gonna like wish you were on those fun podcasts when people are looking back and watching them. So always jump at any opportunity you get to be on a podcast.
I'd agree with that, jumping for every opportunity, because you truly never know when you're gonna have the most fun with things. Like the Coke tasting, you kind of go in and you're like, I don't want to do that, and then it ends up being like one of the most fun podcasts ever, and you're making memories with all of your friends, especially senior year. It's like I feel like I got more opportunity to spend time with you guys and grow closer and make these memories that other people in our class aren't experiencing. So definitely.
I agree with that too, and I think it's kind of cool that we can come back and look at these later and like, oh yeah, that's us in high school, you know. But I also think that you should know that mistakes are okay. I mean, there's been a couple podcast episodes that we've walked out of here being like, that was so good, and then Miss Cox watches it and she's like, oh, that's not one of the greatest ones. So, but it's okay. Everything's a learning experience, and it makes us better. And take the criticism well, because it has definitely made us do better in our episodes. And yeah,
For sure. So with that, does everyone want to share their plans for after the Cardinal Chirp and after high school?
You want to start us off,
No,
Jesse?
you guys can start.
Okay, I'll start us off. So I'm planning on attending Lakeland College. I'm doing their ag transfer program, so I'll graduate with a degree in 2 years and then go on to a university. Not really sure, looking at some coastal colleges and some things like that. So pretty excited for the future, writing more books for sure, and just, enjoying life.
And maybe a future podcast.
Yeah, I've actually been working on that for this summer, so stay tuned.
My plans are to go to Lakeland for the next 2 years, and there I'll be studying pre-dentistry and playing basketball. After my 2 years at Lakeland, I'm going to then transfer to university, where I'll do my 4 years of undergrad, and then transfer to a dental school to become a dentist. But my goals for the next 1 to 2 years is to open a food truck where I will sell cookies and coffee out of, and then hopefully open up a bakery here one day and maybe media.
For sure.
For sure.
That is the plan.
For sure.
I plan to go to cosmetology school in the fall, and it's just a quick 9-month program, so hopefully after that I can get under another cosmetologist and hopefully one day open my own salon. So that's the plan right now, but we'll see.
And then I plan to go to Olney Central College for radiography, and that's a 2-year program, and I actually start June 3rd. So I graduate and have about 2 weeks, and then I'm right on to the next. And then I could transfer to a university to do CT or an MRI or something of the sorts. I haven't really decided if I want to specialize or not, so we'll see where that goes in the future.
Awesome.
I am attending Lakeland. I really don't know what I'm going for yet. It would be business marketing for my insurance or accounting, so hopefully I can go for insurance, and if that doesn't work out, just be an accountant.
Awesome.
Big plans here
Big
with the
plans
Chirp
with the
crew.
Chirp.
So,
We're all going different
Lots of
ways.
options too.
yeah.
Everyone has
I
big
mean,
plans.
it's gonna be exciting to look back at, like, say, this episode and just, like, see where we've come, because,
Yeah.
like, I mean, who knows if I'll really end up to be
Yeah,
a dentist, or Jesse
yeah.
really will
Yeah.
have his own insurance
Yeah.
agency, but, like, maybe Jesse and I will totally switch positions, and Jesse will be the dentist.
I'll be a dentist. I'll be a dentist. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just exciting. I'm excited to look back in 10 years to see where everyone, not
Yeah.
just the Chirp crew, but
Yeah.
where everyone
That'll
is
be
in our
fun,
class.
yeah.
I've seen a lot of those videos on TikTok right now,
Yeah.
where they have gone around and asking them, like, what are you going to do, and
Yeah.
or what are you going to be like in 10 years,
Yeah.
and it's like completely switched.
Yeah.
Like, actually, I didn't do that.
Yeah.
Which is totally okay. I
Right,
mean,
absolutely.
it's great to have an open mindset, and path changes are good because, I mean, there's a plan, and they always have a plan for you. So,
As long as you learn on your way.
right,
Like,
Yeah.
and you will.
So since it's our last episode, and Miss Cox is kind of sentimental, she wrote us a letter, and I think we're going to read it.
I just wanted to stop and talk about Miss Cox for a second. She is very, like Elena said, sentimental, and she's very fragile in the heart.
I honestly think she's more sad about our last day than we are
Yes.
at this point.
She's like, are you gonna cry filming the final episode? We're like,
No.
yeah.
Like, and just being around a bunch of high schoolers all day, we're like, or all day, she's like, love you guys, and we're like, okay. And it's just like, some of us are not as fragile as others. So,
She says that when we leave, and some of us say okay, and I think she gets hurt by that.
I always say it back.
And then Maya's over here like, it doesn't mean anything if you say it to everyone.
But she wrote us a letter, and I walked in this morning, and she had tears in her eyes, and I was like, "What is wrong with you?" And she was like, "I've been crying all morning because of your final episode." And she was like, "I wrote you guys a letter, but you can't read it, so we'll go ahead and start."
Paris, Jesse, Olivia, Maya, Elena, Sammy, Dawson, Nathan, and Jake. You were the first podcast crew to take this thing off the ground and to create something so fun and cool for your school. You were the ones that created the logo from scratch, produced your own intro for the show, had the idea of the bell to dismiss each episode, and made every crazy idea that I had in every episode we had the chance to produce come to life. My heart is just bursting with how proud I am of each and every one of you. The memories that we've shared and created together are going to be the moments that I will never forget. You have pushed limits and tested buttons that I can assure you future classes will not get the opportunity to do. Haha. We have had crazy ideas, photo shoots, and super fun TikToks that entertained our viewers. We taste tested Oreos, chatted on Facebook Lives, did a Coke testing, and did wildly successful fundraisers to help us grow our program. We gained 300 followers on our Facebook page. We're in the hundreds every episode on viewership, and the thousands on TikTok until Meta shut us down. We went on trips, and we even ended the year with our first ever Emmy. We interviewed and prepared a lot, accomplished most things on the last second effort, but most importantly, we had so much fun. To say that I'm going to miss you and your laughter, your jokes, your energy, and your friendship is an understatement. You truly guided me through my first year at North Clay, and you made this place feel like home for me. The next season of the Cardinal Chirp will feature all new students, all new memories, and all new content, but I promise that your legacy will live on, and they will always be reminded of who started this for them. They have big shoes to fill, and I hope to have you back for the next alumni episode. I am so proud of you, and although I am not ready to see you go, I know that you are ready. Thank you for all the work that you put in this school year to make the Cardinal Chirp as successful as it was.
And for the last time, I'm Jesse.
I'm Paris.
I'm Maya.
I'm Olivia. I'm Elena, and we're signing off on
The Cardinal Chirp.